trying to pinpoint a moment. Because I don't know if I've said this to you before, but I even when I was doing the show with you and Rants, I was always full time. So even back then when we were doing them
Yeah.
shows, I was full time. And I wasn't making loads of money, but I wasn't working. So I was just this is what I was doing. I think the penny dropped with Big Six when we went out to New York, and we did that Fox special with them, and they did six in what did they call it? I can't remember, but it was a sick name for the show. We did that. We was on that. We did a couple features with them. They took us to Times Square. They filmed us going through Times Square, trying New York stuff, and I was just like, "This is a bit ridiculous, isn't it?"
Surreal.
I was like, "Yeah, this is a bit mad, isn't it? Like we're really making our US TV debut. Like being on TV in the UK is already mad enough, and then going over to America and being on TV there, and having all their film crew welcome us and kind of be on their set, go to their studio, do a show with them. So I think that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, this might be more than I thought it was. But I always had a dream to get to 100K, get the plaque.
Yeah, just like with your old channel.
Third channel. Yeah, I've had this my third channel. So I've always kind of been aiming to go big. But yeah, I think that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, we should lock in even more now.
Listen, weird one. You know what? For me, what would I say? I'd say it's just after COVID, or better yet, during COVID. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I can see the game kind of changing. Let me go on it. Because like yourself, I was working as well. I got put on that, was it that furlough thing, and then taking off. I then saw myself. I was like, oh, you know what? Life is a bit feeble. And then I looked at my paycheck for the last, like in that period, 2 months. I was like, wait, I've made more doing less on YouTube than being here. Now, obviously, there's the security of having a conventional 9 to 5. But I thought, because I can be quite calculated, impulsive. I did the maths. I was like, I could always go back to getting a job. Let me make a meal of this. Let me actually try in it, because I've seen what it could be like, them saying fuck off and whatnot. Let me go for it. So it's crazy. Another kind of question on that theme, yeah. Has creating football content changed how you watch matches?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I remember when I was younger, I didn't give a damn about who the starting 11 was. I didn't care about tactics or systems. I was just watching, just purely just to just enjoy like the scoreline and
football
who gets goals. Just honestly, football at its purest, where it's like there is no agendas. There's no like massive concerns over like just the finer details. It was just purely like, let's just watch the game and just whatever happens. But obviously now, I think now, because I want my analysis to be better, I've obviously always seen, like, I think Liaz is quality, you know, James Alcott, these guys, they're very, very strong on their analysis as well. Like I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting absolutely as much as possible out of that game in terms of my opinion, my talking points, and then
almost
relaying that back in my content. Yeah, and that does mean that you do watch it in a different way, because I think you are concentrating on different things now. And obviously, since I've started doing the watch-alongs, I've never stopped as well. I never used to even think I'd be doing watch-alongs, to be honest.
Trust me, same.
Bro, I really didn't think I was going to be doing
I thought the concept was moist, I'll be honest. I thought it was cringy. People used to say, dude, it's like, I just can't fathom sitting there watching the game in real time with you guys. And then, you know what? Life humbles you. Here we are, like yourself. I ain't stopped doing that.
Do you know what it is as well? It's like, I just didn't think I'd want to talk whilst watching.
Exactly.
I used to always watch the game, and I'm either at the ground and we're doing the chants, but a lot of the time as well, I'm just paying attention to what's going on, because from it's a different viewpoint. And then when I'm at home, I'm just watching the game, like I'm not talking. So doing the commentary whilst watching it was not something I thought I'd be doing. But I don't know, like, obviously when people start to watch and it starts to do really good numbers, that does help make the decision. But I just feel like now I couldn't watch it any other way. Like now, if I wasn't doing a watch along for a Chelsea game, I'd be rattled.
That's how I feel every time I miss Arsenal. Like, I can't fathom it. And then even like, I equate it to being in a pub. Like I equate it to being in a pub, because your chat, you know, obviously they're talking about football, they're bantering and whatnot. But I'm sure you probably get it. You'll be watching the game, and obviously more so if the game's dead. But you'll be talking about real life, or having some real life conversations, or just speaking about stuff irrelevant to the game while you're commentating. And I feel that kind of expansion and explosion is what shocked me. And it's like, if we listen to our initial voices where it's like, oh no, forget that, you wouldn't be here, innit?
Yeah, no, it's made a massive difference, I think, to the channel. Obviously, everybody loves a good old reaction and the clips and whatnot. But in the moment, it's like, what can you do? Like, you actually, sometimes it annoys me how emotionally connected I am to this club, because I feel like they take me for a fool.
Same.
You would have had the same feeling when Arsenal weren't delivering what they should have been delivering as
100%.
well.
And at points last season.
And it's like, I think in every other part of life outside of YouTube and football, I could probably cut ties if need be in any department, bro. But you see these two things, we're locked in. And then when you put them together, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's facts, man. It's like it's illogical, innit? I always say on my YouTube channel, there's people, men and women out there, that are more likely to cheat on their partners than wear another football shirt. Football, our love for football, in theory, is illogical. It's logical because we love it, but unless you're a massive football fan, and there's various degrees of football fan, you won't get it, especially people like ourselves, and many people around the world that ain't even got a YouTube channel that are just so engrossed in this. Like, it doesn't matter what job you've got, what family your family life is looking like. No matter what you've got to do, you're gonna structure your life that, boy, 12:30 Arsenal, or in your case Chelsea, are playing. 3 o'clock we're doing this, 5:30 we're doing this, and you wouldn't have it any other way, man. This is a good question. What does the public misunderstand about being a content creator? I think it's they think you're a millionaire. Like, I think you're pissing and shit in peas.
That's a good question. Definitely peas. Definitely peas. I think people, like I said, thankfully I've been able to have multiple income streams, because if I was going purely off my own YouTube channel, it's long. It's actually long, especially
it's bare anxiety.
Especially if you want to invest, like it's near on impossible at times, because it's just not what people think it is. And I think that's why the audience need to get a lot more. I know it's a more American thing, but they need to get a lot more relaxed. And I think my audience are very accepting with it, but I've seen other YouTubers and other audiences kind of like turn their nose up at brand deals. I'm like, what?
We got bills to pay too, you know.
Like, this is a topic that for me, it's like, you do understand that the YouTube content is free. They're like, there's a few ads in there, and if you got premium, there's no ads. But like, it's not on Patreon, it's not on no subscription service. You're not being charged. It's free. You're not.
And we're putting in labor costs, you know,
and we're
like you said, there might be editing and all these things.
Absolutely, it's like we got
money.
We got people that we got a team. It takes a team now to do these things.
And subscriptions.
We got to pay those people. And then also, if you love the game like we do, you want to improve, you want to buy that new camera, you want to get that new studio, you want to get this guest. Sometimes next season of branching out, no doubt, I'm going to have to pay some guests, because they're going to be former players, or they're going to be, you know, like, it ain't no joke.
People don't see this stuff. Yeah.
So it's like, you definitely need your brand deals. And I think in other countries, particularly in America, they're very obviously, and maybe they take it too far. But I look at Google, I was like, if they can run ads, like, why on earth would I not be running? I'm little old Matisse. You know what I mean? Everywhere, like, there's big ass billion-dollar corporations that run ads, and it's just like nobody's business. But when a YouTuber's doing it, an individual entity, it's like, oh my God, you can't do that. I'm like, so again, but I like the way, I don't have that problem, because I feel like my audience, they understand that I invest, and they understand that I love the game. So when I'm doing an ad, usually it is an ad as well that I actually use. Like, I'm not gonna have no issue with a VPN. I'm not gonna have no issue with what was the other thing? Even a free to play like William Hill. I don't go crazy on the casino. I don't like that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do accumulators and stuff, but if it's a free to play and it's, you know, this is the button you got to press to do the free to play to potentially win. Yeah, let's do it. And people win. Like, we talk about the winners on DR, and it's like, yeah, it's calm. Like, that's something I would do. So I think as long as you're comfortable doing what you're putting out and advertising, and it's not something that you would just not even go anywhere near, then I think, yeah, man, absolutely do it, because you've grafted your ass off to get to a point, invested, done 3 AM roundabouts. You know, no one was there when you were doing all that, and now you're not even gonna have the fruits of your own labor. And most of the time in the comments, if it is people going at you, they would do the same thing.
They would do the same. They do worse.
They might even do worse
integrity with it,
because we don't talk about we don't talk about the brand deals that we don't sign.
Exactly. And the money is eye-catching as well. If you never had no more, you're jumping at that. Bro, up holidays.
Sometimes I don't even ask what the fee is for some of them, because I'm just like, you know what? We're not doing it. And if I don't know the fee,
don't make no sense.
Yeah, if I don't know the fee, then I don't have no temptation, because some of them is just ridiculous. Like, but yeah, man, I think that's probably one part of it. And I think a lot of people that ask me they want to get into this, I'm like, you don't just love the football side, love the YouTube side as well, because it's not just, you're not coming on here just for the football, you are coming onto a platform that you need to do your due diligence on and your homework on, and to grow, you need to know things, and you need to talk to producers and directors and know about cameras, and like you can't just come here on a football team. You
Facts.
actually need to know the ins and outs if you want to be full time. So yeah, you gotta have a love for the game, bro, because there's gonna be many months where you don't really want to do this shit anymore.
Tell
So
them
you gotta
you,
really love the game. Trust me.
you got, bro. You got to earn your chops, man. I would say, I would say I think Matisse is talking facts, by the way, people. So I co-sign that. I would say the things you lot don't see. It's like me and Matisse right now. This is the easy part, just talking about football. This is like playing a match. Like this is like playing a match. For me, it's more, what are we doing in training? Training being like Matisse said, equipment, learning different things, learning about CPM and RPM and the science behind thumbnails, and not copying people, but naturally learning from people. Okay, he's good at this. I'm not going to do it that way, but let me do this. Finding that balance of changing, but also remaining core to yourself, because we do content with a diverse content bit of creators, where I would call us as like all rounders, in it. Like we've got a bit of personality. We can talk serious ball. We can poke fun at other clubs. We can do all of that. But some people's strengths are in different places. Some people are better at banter than they are analytically, and I think some people it's all right to experiment, but sometimes it might not be you. It's like, I like stats and I'm a bit of a nerd like that, but I don't like it going too nerdy. I know my content would be the best if I went down that way, because I like relevant stats. There's no point telling me about the XXXG and whatnot. Tell me the context behind that. What the hell does that mean? Like, is there more passes coming from the left or right? Why is that? Like, I believe football's a simple game, innit? And I think when you go down a rabbit hole and do all of that stuff, it's almost like a doctor telling you jargon, or a stockbroker. And I know it's kind of industry lingo, but if you can't break it down to the average individual, then I genuinely feel you don't believe what you're talking about to that degree. So it's a bit of a weird one, Matisse, but I think you're on fire, man. I want to get into some back to football.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, first things first, Enzo Maresca, he's obviously gone City. Like, I'm sure you've spoken about this, done bare videos, but it's a chance to actually ask you, like, what are you saying for that? It seems like he's wanted to do that for a while. He's got his wish. Like, yeah, man, Enzo Maresca to Chelsea, and obviously you look at Xabi Alonso now, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fighter for Enzo Maresca in terms of, okay, you've made some history at the football club. Conference League is a bit yuck, but hey ho, you got to win what's in front of you.
You want, yes,
and then the Club World Cup for me was great. You know what I mean? I thought, especially because it was PSG in the final, I loved that. And then I think for me, whenever you win trophies at my club, I'm always then going to give you like a lot of leeway in comparison to people that don't, because at the end of the day, I'm not one to turn my nose up at any trophy. Once you won a trophy for my football club and you put something on Wikipedia, we're gonna talk. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like, it's really that simple. And I think with him, I was just very disappointed, because I really don't like the ownership. I really think that they've really just done an absolute shocking job in terms of multiple areas of the club.
Painful manager.
Yeah, and I think it's a very difficult working environment to be amongst, and I think there's a high turnover of staff, clearly, not only in front of us, but also behind the scenes. Whenever I speak to stewards, whenever I speak to people that work at the club, they say, hey ho, there's a lot of turnover here in all departments. Very disorganized, it feels, very all over the place. And it translates onto the pitch. You start as you mean to go on. Everything filters down from the top, and there's no accountability, and there's no remorse. It seems
from the head
down. What I mean? Yeah, man. And that's why I get at them so often. But then when I see someone acting that way and kind of handle themselves in that fashion mid-season, it does rub me up the wrong way, because it's like, you could have waited till the end of the season. Regardless of whether you're going to City or not, Pep's not leaving mid-season. Be amicable, be respectful, and also just do legal. Like, your contract says what it is. You're not really meant to be talking to other clubs in the middle.
Calm down, you're gonna get some.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and for me, he deserved to have to pay some of the compensation, or City's covering or whatever, and they deserve to have to pay them out. They have to pay, because you literally just cannot do that. And it did disrupt our season. I do think it allows them to have a bit of a get out with jail free card and not take any accountability for the recruitment and for the lack of movement in January and all these things, and say, oh yeah, it's just all on the manager leaving mid-season. Otherwise, we would never be in this mess. You still gave the contract to Liam Rossini. Do you know what I'm saying? As a successor.
Until you said that was a blur, I forgot you had him,
I tried to forget,
because he had the whole incident against us.
I tried to forget. It's funny because when people come up to me, they're like, oh, you mean Liam Rossini? I'm like, Yeah, I did,
Yeah,
and it was fun, but don't get me twisted. Like that was probably the worst period of supporting Chelsea.
it was over his head. I can't begrudge him for taking the Chelsea job,
Awful.
but yeah, it shouldn't happen.
There's a lot of memes, man. And it's just like, oh, this is not good for you. It's not good for us. It's not good for anyone. No one's winning here. But I I want to have a beef with Maresca and City next year purely because of what happened. But I can't. I got bigger ops. I got bigger ops. I'm sorry. As always, Man City, you could draw us out as much as you want. You could try and create some sort of animosity. I cannot pretend like I have the time. I have too many enemies. I don't have the time for you. It's always Arsenal. It's always Tottenham. It's always Liverpool, and it's always Man United. Like that's the big four. Like I don't have time to create more problems. I don't have more. I don't have the energy. So unfortunately, Man City, we're just gonna have to just let it slide. Genuinely.
So he's there for Xabi Alonso. Because I rate him, man. I think you need him. Like I like Xabi Alonso. I have rated him. I did think he'd go Liverpool. Obviously, it's not happened. They've gone in a different direction. Yeah, I think he reminds me of Mikel Arteta in 2019. Obviously, the only thing they have in common, I'm sure there's little tactics, but they're Spanish, innit? That's the only thing. I just think he's a man of conviction. I think, you know, with what Chelsea's been, which is a circus, he can at least get some ducks in a row, get some basic competencies. Of course, especially in today's day and age, a manager can't change everything, innit? Like you said, the fish rots from the head downwards, innit? So it's like, I like him a lot. And I do think it adds to the excitement as an Arsenal fan, because I think we're the only team I know what we're going to do. I don't know what Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Man United, the rest of you lot, I don't know what you're going to look like. It's an element of an unknown. But I do like Alonso. Obviously, I don't know how you're going to replace Cucurella. There's rumors around Malo Gusto. Enzo Fernandez is probably the one earmarked with a move away. You didn't get Granit Xhaka. You know, there's a couple of players that are past it. Evidently, there's recruitment. As a new manager comes in, he has to be given kind of his players, but he can play a back three, he can play a back five. I actually think you lot will go to a back three, going back to shades of Mikel Arteta, because that's one thing we've done early in it. Like, because we weren't where we were now. It's like we can't defend. Let's go to a back five and just see where we can move. So I do like Alonso's appointment, but you can't look at him as a messiah. The whole club has to move in the same direction.
I love Alonso's appointment because I didn't expect us to get it. I really thought we were going to go and get a
Took me by surprise, man.
Gary O'Neill, Marco Silva, one of these brothers.
Like, that was one aggressively linked with you.
I was ready. I was ready to be angry. I was, you know what I mean? I was ready to be angry. Like, but I keep telling people, like, it's not the be all and end all. Like, some people have allowed this appointment to just completely erode all of the damage that has been done over the years and all of the poor decision making and the failed recruitment that they've done, and say, oh yes, a clean slate now, or we have to get behind the ownership. I'm like, hold on a second. No. They are in debt to us. We finished 10th.
They still need to get us on side.
Bro, we finished 10th. Does nobody understand this? We finished 10th.
And not for the first time. Challenge when you drew against us.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to war. I was breaking into man's yards. Like, we finished 10th for the second time in 4 years. We finished mid-table. That means 50% of the time we've spent our class in 10th or 12th. And then, if I'm to go even further, 80% of the Pochettino season, we were also 10th. And it's only the last 5 games, if you remember, we had like a winning run and got ourselves up to 6th and qualified for Europa. And then obviously an FA Cup winner made us qualify for conference. So a good 75% of the time we've been in mid-table under this ownership. And I'm talking throughout the durations of seasons. So there's no leeway whatsoever. Talk about the fact that front of shirt is still not taken care of. Again, I don't know how that's possible, but yet they're charging us money for CFC Plus subscription to go and listen to Xabi Alonso's first words. Like, what are we doing?
That's poor from your club. That's poor.
I'm sure the ticket prices aren't what they should be for the team that is in no European football for the next season again. Like, bro,
and the merch.
But then they're selling them on Viva Gogo and all these things. You know what I mean? Like, brother, I'm not letting them loose, bro. I'm not taking my foot off their necks. They are an absolute shambles of an ownership. And until they show otherwise, I'm going to keep cussing them, because this club should not be in the position they're in. There's just no excuse for it.
So disgrace.
We were debt-free, bro. We were debt-free, and we had players. Yes, we needed a bit of a shuffle. Yes, we needed to improve our recruitment and start to find players earlier, etc. But the way they've taken it to the next extreme and just not being able to even get the basics right is a joke. And people, when they ask, like, the manager he can't do it all. He needs
it's not a miracle worker
through the door. And so far this window, we've done nothing, bro. I'm still waiting for us to get this left back that I've not heard of from Rio. in Spain. We're going back and forth over a couple of million or whatever it is. We thought we'd get him 15. They want 21. I'm like, brother, clearly you lot don't rate him, or you don't rate the manager. Which one is it? Because the manager said we need this player, and you don't want to get him because of a 7 million differential. Same thing with Mike Maignan last summer. Oh, we don't want to pay the 25 million that Milan are asking for. We're only going to pay 15. You clearly don't rate the player highly enough, or you clearly don't think he's big enough upgrade on Sanchez. And Xhaka, okay, you want to be disrespectful with the 8 million. You could have started at 15. I know it's a high price for a 33-year-old, but again, beggars can't be choosers. When you're in the trenches, get in the mud and start flinging, bro. Like we finished behind Sunderland. We want their captain. What do you think you're going to have to do to get him out? They got bread. They don't need your money. They qualify for Europe. It's just frustrating. I think with these owners, like, unfortunately, they've tapped into they're evil masterminds and geniuses because they've tapped into a sport that the love, like you said earlier, is irrational. Football fans, they sometimes they have the memory of a goldfish. They're not able to consistently hold the energy, and once a new season arrives and the points tallies are all zero, and the table's in alphabetical order, which puts us maybe in the top 5 Champions League qualification. Man, don't think, hey, we're back.
Forget last season, it's a new season, and then it all kind of starts again. So then what do you make of Enzo Fernandez, man? Because Xabi Alonso played a bit coy on him. He's another one you think, oh, will he, won't he, type of thing.
I really was ready for his release, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the divorce. You talk about it enough times, let's sign the paperwork. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna fight.
It's boring now.
Yeah, it's boring. I'm not gonna keep fighting. You're not like a generational player or anything. Like, I've seen better. As much as I didn't want to let him go at the start of the summer because I was thinking we can't afford to lose our best players because A, I don't trust our directors to replace them, and B, we finished 10th. We need to keep our best players and build better around them and try and get up the table. Any worse than this, if we start having more mediocre Delaps and Ganachos and add more, it could get real nasty. Next thing, you will be in a relegation battle. I've not uttered the sentence or uttered the phrase, but this Premier League is getting more competitive. You cannot afford to be carrying too many bums in your squad because it will put you in precarious positions. But after the agent coming out, and then obviously seemingly seeing that he was desperate for the move, it's like, bro, just hurry up and get it over with, man.
I'm in terms
of hurry up and get the money in so we can replace you. Because I already know that if we're playing a back 3 and a pivot midfield, which every manager has pushed him into more advanced areas, and he's not a twin 10 guy, he can't dribble, he can't carry, we can get better profile fits for the system than what he is. He's a bit of a misfit in that system. I think he's a midfield 3 player, similar to Argentina. And I think if he went to Real Madrid, if they were interested in a midfield 3, I think it would have worked with Valverde, maybe a Tchouaméni, with the legs around him to just focus on his passing and dictating and whatnot. But in the system, I think we're looking to play with wing backs. It don't make no sense. I know what a midfield is meant to look like with wing backs. We had it with Conte.
You've won the league with that, yeah.
Matic, Kante, bro. You know what I mean? Like engines, workhorse, engine, and then you've still got your passing in Matic. You've still got your ball carrying in Kante, and you've still got your long shots in there with Matic. And you've got your aerial prowess, and you've just got a bit of everything, but you don't have any athleticism issues. If you're playing with a 2 and you're going up against 3-man midfields, God forbid 4s, when you're getting all pep with the twin 10s and
in today's day and age where strikers are dropping into midfield, you saw it with Brazil.
Then it becomes a 5, or they're inverting a fullback. God forbid, brother. You cannot have no athleticism.
You're gonna drown
in the 2. They can't run in the 2, bro. Especially not in the Premier League. So, but it looks like he's not leaving. So, I'm whatever. I understand why players want to leave this club if they want to achieve things, because I'm just as annoyed with the ownership as they are. I'm sure he was promised certain things in this project when he signed at the beginning, but there's a way about doing things, and it's mainly being his agent. My advice to him would be sack your agent, blame it all on him, do some PR, and the Chelsea fans and
then the beef is blessed.
Yeah, that's what will happen.
What do you make of Cucurella to Real Madrid and Santos to Man United?
The Cucurella one, I don't mind as much because he systematically doesn't fit for wing backs. I've seen him at wing back when I went to the FA Cup final. Awful. Like, he's not a wing back. He doesn't have the Nuno Mendes characteristics, the carrying, even Alphonso Davies before the injuries. Like, you need athleticism, you need carrying, you need the ability to go past your man, you need crossing ability. He has always excelled at Chelsea, inverting into midfield, inverting into the twin 10s and crashing the box, playing inside. And it doesn't look like we're going to be doing that. So you don't fit. I don't want to play you left side centre back. You're not tall enough. I don't want you to get dunked on back post. And also Hato had a very good 2026. So I
He
don't
did, to
mind
be
that.
fair.
Yeah, I don't mind that move. Again, we're losing a lot of intangibles. We're losing a lot of intensity. We're losing a lot of fight, a lot of winning spirit, mentality, goals that he brought in the Maresca season before this. So I don't advocate for, again, getting rid of our starters. But if you're going to need to make money in a time where you're financially screwed because you don't have front of shirt and you didn't make Europe, I'd rather you sell a left back than sell a centre mid. I'd rather you sell a left back than sell João Pedro to Barcelona. That was the link. So it could have been a lot worse. Santos, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
I think United are gonna love that one, you know.
Bro, I personally just don't think people have seen the best of him because
They
Chelsea
don't
are a
really.
disorganized organization and they have not been able to give this guy a clear pathway. His first debut season in the Premier League, he comes in. We have three different managers, an interim, and three different managers, including the interim. And we have our probably worst season under this ownership because we don't even have the Graham Potter first season. You didn't know what you was doing excuse. We have the 4 years in, you fully screwed up, reality to face. And it's toxic in the second half of the season. Players are talking to the press, wanting to leave. The system's constantly ever changing. Partners and positions are constantly ever changing. 1 minute we're playing with midfielders in midfield. Next minute, Maresca's inverting Gusto and Reece James into midfield. We're having two fullbacks in midfield even in one game. It's just not stable circumstances to learn, to improve, to develop. Everybody was gassed when he came back from Strasbourg. Everybody was hyped when he was putting in his, player of the year season and captaining them in France and playing against PSG. Now, suddenly, a year later,